Hey, this is Tony Gasser here. Wanted to pop in and speak on something real quick that I've been having to see a lot lately and getting questions on a lot. And you already know the obvious answer, but I think the thing is like what makes a man change? What makes a man get his life together? And you'll hear women say all the time, "Oh, well, it ain't a woman. My man ain't changed for me. He ain't changed for me." And it is a combination of things. So it's the timing in his life, it's the consequences in his life, and it's the woman in his life. So at 18, 19 years old, 20, 21, anything before 25, it's almost impossible for a man to change. Because before, the brain isn't even fully developed until 25, so they say. And I could believe that. Whether it's true or not, I'm gonna say it's true. And there's a invincibility in a man's mind before the age of 25. So if a person feels invincible, what do you think is gonna make that man change if he feels invincible? Like, we literally, before 25, I hate to say it, we dumb as a box of rocks. So to the women that's dating under the age of 25, you really, for the most part, you wasting your time. 9 out of 10 times, you wasting your time. Like, you need to be focusing on school. You need to have your legs closed. Don't be feeling like you got to be sleeping with no man and having no one-night stands at college and going to the parties and making out, catching mono and COVID and all that. You need to have your legs closed and you need to have your books open if you under the age of 25 or you dating a man under the age of 25, because you really wasting your time and you just racking up bodies and you racking up heartache. That's all you doing. For a man to change I ain't changed before the age of 25. I got married at 23. I ain't changed my life till 25, 26. Meaning, like, mature and really got my head on straight. So, and listen, you look how many videos I got online. Look what I'm doing in my life and what I've dedicated my life to. So if it took me to 25 to change, and I'm an exception to the rule. So meaning a man who not called to relationship coaching and life coaching and mentorship, it might take him to 30 to change. You see what I mean? So it is timing, just how this man matures. And so you got to be able to look at how he matures, what he knows, who he was raised by, what's in his mind, like how is he as a person, what are his vices, and it got to make sense. It got to make sense. If he was raised by savages, it's gonna take him a little longer. If he raised in the hood, he smoke weed, he get drunk, he go to strip clubs, it's gonna take him longer. It don't mean he can't change, it's just gonna take him longer. He's just more immature. So it's that timing. The other thing is the consequences in his life. So if a man sleep with a woman and he catch a STD that is incurable, that may be a hard enough slap in the face to wisen him up and make him say, hey man, I gotta do different, I gotta do better. If a man get a woman pregnant and it don't work out, but he got to pay $500,000-$600,000 in child support, that might be a hard enough slap in the face to wake him up. If a man get the love of his life and he won't grow and change, and then he lose her and he got to change in order to get her back, that might wake him up. So it's the consequences in his life as well. And then the other thing is, it's the woman. It has to be the woman for him. It has to be the woman that he feels is his wife, and that he can, not a wife, but his wife. Every woman is a wife, but the woman may not be his wife. So when women say, oh, men don't change for a woman because my guy didn't change for me, and I'm an amazing woman, I'm an amazing catch, that's because you're not his wife. But you're gonna watch him change for another woman that is his wife. And you can't get mad about that, because everybody ain't for you. So you got to be okay understanding that. The other thing you got to realize on this here is you have to realize that a man is not going to change unless he absolutely has to change. That's the only thing. It's like, you know, you look at this guy who sell crack cocaine, then he go to prison, and that make him stop selling crack cocaine because he went to prison. Had he not gone to prison, he would have never stopped selling that crack cocaine. Because he went to prison, now he do that. So then he come out and he get into real estate. Because that's the thing, the next easiest thing to get into when you got some money stacked up or saved up. Or you can finesse your way by, you know, wholesaling and doing stuff to where you don't need your credit, you don't need a down payment. It's all different kind of ways to get into real estate. So that's the next little come up. But if a man has not changed his heart, then he gonna go to doing fraud. He gonna start doing real estate fraud. He's not gonna change until he go to prison for that. See, some people never change at their core, so they go from one scam to the next scam. And each thing, even though it may be a legitimate industry, they find a way to scam in the legitimate industry. And so that means the person just has not changed. I see people go from real estate scamming to another kind of scamming. And from credit card scamming to another kind of scamming. And just, the person ain't changing. They just changing their scam. And so that's how men can be, to where a man may be with one woman and he get caught in the DMs. The next woman, he don't be in the DMs, he get caught on the cell phone. The next woman, he get caught with a hidden phone. The next woman, he get caught, it's only in person. He don't do no texting and messaging. It's just in person cheating. The next woman he get caught, it's just pay for the cheating. Pay the stripper, pay this. And he just learning new ways to cheat, to scam. And so for a man to change, it gotta be a combination of the timing in his life, the consequences that he has suffered, and the woman that he wants to change for. And so it's a perfect storm. It's a perfect storm that get a man to change. And every man is capable of changing. Just not every man goes through the perfect storm. And can a cheater change? Absolutely. I was a cheater. Can an abuser change? Absolutely. I was an abuser. I know firsthand that a man can change. Can a criminal change? Absolutely. I was a criminal. Can a liar change? Absolutely. I was a liar. Can a deceiver change? Absolutely. I was a deceiver. Can a manipulator change? Absolutely. I was a manipulator. Can a male HO change? Absolutely. I was a male HO. You see what I'm saying? I was everything, the worst of the worst, and I changed. But I'm trying to let you know the combination of the change. Now, see, for me, an additional part was a fear and reverence for God. But at the same time, it was God using my wife, so to speak. Because deep down, we don't really fear God. Like, we should fear God, but deep down, humans don't really fear God because we can't see God. Now, some people say, I fear God. Well, why you acting arrogant in the comments if you fear God? Why you being condescending in the comments then? Why you being argumentative and you arguing about God and the Bible in the comments in front of non-believers? you being a hindrance to them. So do you really fear God? If you fear God, then you won't sin at all. So we say, oh, I fear God, but we still be committing all kind of sin, backbiting, gossiping, strife, all kind of stuff we get into. So when I say I fear God, and the reason why I wanted to change because I fear God, but the fear of God alone was not enough, because I had been in the street selling drugs. I had been a womanizer. So I had already shown myself, God and the devil, that I didn't really have a real fear. So then when I wanted to have a fear of God and a reverence for God, it was that coupled with a love for my wife, the timing in my life, and the consequences I had already suffered. And so, but every man you deal with won't believe in God. You know, every man you deal with won't be a Christian. A lot of people on here are not Christians. A lot of people write me and they Islamic or they agnostic or whatever it is. And so it's all different things. So even when a person change, when a man change, he may not, it could be God and he may not attribute it to God. He may not recognize it as God. You know, so I can't speak on everything and every type of man, because I'm not every type of man. You know, I'm a God-fearing Christian man. But that don't mean that Islamic man can't change, or whoever kind of man, Buddhist man can't change. I just don't know it for myself. All right, okay, you trying to show a little something, huh? Got your little something under the hood there, I see. Y'all forgive me. And tell y'all something, you know, a lot of times we don't tell people this, but it's a life lesson. It's something on separate, it's bonus. Me being nice the other day, you know, I'm in an exclusive collector's car, and it's not expensive as some other cars I have, but I let a gentleman drive my car. I was in the passenger seat, and he punched the gas like that guy just was doing, and he lost control of it, because this car got a whole lot of power, over 800 horsepower. Just to put that in perspective, if you drive like a, you know, Camry or something, your car may have like 200 horsepower. You know, a typical car like 140 to 240 horsepower. And you know, when you hit that gas, you get on up now. You get on up. This got over 800 horsepower. So that just put it in perspective. And lost control, skid off the road. We skid off the road and ran up the side of the like ditch, and then up out the ditch, and then up the rocks and up on top of a railroad track. And I had a train been coming, my car would have got destroyed if a train was coming at the same time. But police was able to call the train people and tell them, hey, don't send nothing. So my car was up there for probably about 20 minutes on top of a railroad track. And I had to really thank God. You know, I had to really thank God, because it could have been worse. Could have lost control, spin into another car. Could have got, you know, spent around, T-bone. Car could have flipped over. So I learned a lesson, because I don't drive like that. And, you know, and I got more, you know, I don't drive like that. But it's a lot of lessons from there. And sometimes what it is one of the lessons is, you know, everybody not gonna be able to handle your blessing, and everybody may not be in a position, you know, to understand your life or the season you in. And so you have to be careful with who you put your destiny in. This had nothing to do with the car. It's just life in general. You have to be careful who you put your destiny in the hands of, who hands you put your destiny in. And everybody not gonna take care of and do for your business and your dreams and your goals and your relationship the way you will. And not all blessings are transferable. Not everybody can experience every blessing and it benefit them. Some blessings will hinder people. Some blessings will block people. And so, you know, God showed me, like, And it also was, and I was glad it happened, you know, because it's just a car. Nothing happened to the car except for like the parking guard. You know, it's just at the lower part of the car got a parking guard. So in essence, it was like hitting the parking stop. And I did that in a Maserati I had in 2015. I literally, as soon as I got the car, went to my son's school, parked at my son's school, and ran up on the parking stop. And when I backed up, it pulled off my bumper, my front bumper, because them cars sit real low. I didn't realize that it was lower than a parking stop. And so that's essentially all that happened. So, you know, no, you know, condolences or sympathy or anything like that needed. And it's just a car. You know, I don't worship material things. I have material things, and that's something that you have to learn too, is you can have things, but don't let things have you. So none of this stuff mean nothing to me. And I know a lot of people say that it don't mean that, but it don't. I'm driving right now. It drive totally fine. Ain't nothing wrong with it. It was when we went up there and hit that railroad track, that parking guard came off. And then up under it, you know, little scrapes and stuff. But he right now with the detail people, not the detail, the body shop, and they reordering the little parts for me. And so he gonna fix it out of pocket, of course, and take care of it. But I learned a lesson. It also was God showing me is that a lot of times we get in situations and we get comfortable in the situation. We'll get comfortable in the situation. And what I mean by that is we could take and get in a situation and we'll get comfortable and we'll get to a place to where, you know, we get relaxed. And so you could be in a relationship and you could be chilling. Baby, y'all about to go? Yeah. Okay. And you could be in a relationship and you about to, you know, you get complacent. And so now you go from protecting yourself. Now you go from protecting yourself to now you unprotected. But you ain't ready to have no baby yet. But you unprotected because you getting too relaxed. You can be dating and you could be abstinent, but then you get too relaxed, you get too comfortable, and then the next thing you know, now you, boom, now you sleeping around. I had to go get a rapid test, and then now my wife and the boys going to go get a rapid test because we going to the Bahamas for a few nights. And so be careful, buddy. Don't hurt yourself. And that was God saying to me, he said, you know, this thing got 220 miles per hour on it, but it's a different 220 miles per hour because it got 800 plus horsepower. In 6 months, I could have got comfortable because I only had it a couple months. I could have got comfortable. Tatum, you left the door open. Come on, son, pay attention. Be careful. Got to raise them up. Got to close your door behind yourself now. Like your grandma used to say, what, you were raised in a barn? And so I could have got comfortable and I could have come off that line and hit that gas and I could have lost control and went off the side of a bridge, could have ran into another car, could have 360, could have T-bone, anything could have happened. And so I'm glad this right here happened, and it happened on the hands of somebody else, so he paying for it. But then too, it showed me, don't ever get comfortable in your season, in your blessing. Don't ever get comfortable. Don't ever take stuff for granted. You know, don't ever get beside yourself, because you could lose your life. You could lose your freedom. You could lose your health. You could lose whatever it may be. You see what I'm saying? So you got to understand that. And so that was a lesson as well, and I feel like God spared me with that. Oh my goodness, they coming back again. Hey, God bless you. We'll talk soon.